All right, 9:30 right on the dot. So we'll get going. Welcome everyone who's here live. Welcome to people who are doing the recording later. All you need today for your props, 2 small hand weights. Try to keep it under 5 pounds. For reference, mine are 2 pounds, so not that heavy. A squishy ball, inflatable ball if you have it. If not, you could definitely grab a cushion or a yoga block, something similar, or just go without. That's fine too. All right, we're gonna start today lying down. So take a moment to get your props set up, everything kind of nearby, weights on left and right, and then squishy ball really close in arm's distance, because we'll use it in the near future, or cushion if you have it. So go ahead when you're ready, lie all the way down onto the back of your body. You can definitely choose a position here that works best for you. So your legs could be long, your knees could be bent. You can even hug your knees into your chest if that's just what's feeling great this morning. If we lose music or music becomes too loud, too quiet, please let me know. All right, so lying down on your back, arms just resting alongside your body. You're welcome to close your eyes for the first few moments in class while we just connect to our body and our breath. So all together, let's take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And a long sigh, exhale, start to release. 2 more times, just focusing solely on the breath. Big inhale through your nose. Exhale whenever you're ready by the mouth. Last time, your own pace here. Big breath in. Exhale when you're ready. And then just go ahead, release control of the breath for now. Just let it be relaxed and natural, but still aware of it. Introduce a little bit of movement, just wiggling fingers, toes, make a few circles with your wrists, your ankles. And then find a moment of stillness. Take a moment to send your arms overhead, maybe reach the legs long. If they're not long already, go for a nice big full body stretch. With your inhale, grow a little bit longer from your fingertips down to your toes. And exhale, just release, relax everything down. 1 more time like that. Inhale, reach through your arms, your legs, your fingers, your toes. And then exhale, let it go. Go ahead and rebend the knees, place the feet on the floor about hip bone distance apart. Arms can open out to a nice wide T, palms facing up. On your next breath in, start to rock your head and neck over to the right. Use your exhale to bring the head and neck back through center, nice and slow. Inhale, switch, look a little bit to the left. And then nice and slow, exhale back through center. 1 more each way. Inhale, look right. Exhale back up towards the ceiling. Inhale, last time, look left. Return your gaze up towards the ceiling. This time, reach your arms up. From here, as you inhale, reach your arms, your shoulder blades, so they lift a little bit away from the floor, head and neck stay down. Exhale, melt your arms and shoulder blades back down to your mat. Little lift, inhale again, little reach and lift. More about the shoulder blades wrapping inwards towards your chest than a real big movement through the arms. And then release, exhale. 2 more times, inhale, little lift and reach. Exhale, release. Last time, lift. Release. Keep your shoulder blades nice and heavy. On your next breath in, send your arms overhead. Exhale to circle wide and around. 2 more times in that same direction. Move your props if you need to. Arms reach up. And then exhale, big circle. Last time, inhale up. Exhale, circle all the way around. Land your arms down by your hips now. On your next inhale, tilt your pelvis forward. Rock your hip bones away. Little arch through your low back. As you exhale, press your low back down. Rock your hip bones in. Couple more times. Inhale, little rock forward. Exhale, little tuck back. Find a rhythm that works for you. Doesn't have to be fast. It can be really slow. Last time, inhale to rock forward and arch. Exhale, rock in, pause there. Take another breath of air. Exhale, start to press into your feet, your hands, your arms, and slowly lift your hips up to your first bridge. Take a nice big breath in here. Exhale, melt the spine down, 1 bone at a time. At the bottom, reach for your cushion or squishy ball or yoga block, whatever you've got. Pop it between the inner thighs. Give it a little gentle squeeze. Take an inhale, rock your pelvis forward, arch the low back. Exhale, rock in, press into your feet, slowly tuck, curl, press. Giving the ball or prop you have a little squeeze as you lift your bum back up. Big breath in. Maybe release the ball a little bit, let it inflate. Exhale, squeeze and roll down through your spine. At the bottom, let the hip bones rock forward into neutral, release the squeeze on the ball. Take your hands now behind your head, interlace your fingers, elbows go nice and wide. Finding that slight nod of chin towards chest, take a breath in to prepare. On your exhale, squeeze from the inner thighs first, and then start to lift your head and chest straight up to your ab curl. Inhale, begin to release, not only inner thighs, but head and chest all the way back. Exhale again, scoop through your belly, squeeze and lift. Inhale, start to lower, release all the way down. Okay, keep going like that, little lift, little squeeze, and then full release all the way back down. Good. Not really worried about how high you lift in your ab curl, but maybe taking a moment to spend at the top, finishing your exhale, feeling that little shake through the abdominal muscles, keeping the contraction between the inner thighs. That'll help to deepen our connection awareness to our pelvic floor, the muscles, the deep muscles of our core. They're all nice and linked up together if we use them. We'll do 3 more like that. Inhale, nice and slow to lift, to lower, and then exhale, lift up, up, up. Good, this will be our last one. Inhale, release. Exhale, peel up, and then hold there. Keep that little squeeze of the inner thighs, squeeze into the prop. If you don't have a prop, just press your legs, your knees, inner thighs together. From here, as you inhale, we're gonna lower about halfway back. Exhale, we're gonna lift up and twist to the right. Inhale, come back through center, lower all the way down. On your exhale, this time lift straight up through center. Inhale, lower back all the way. Exhale, we'll lift up and twist to the right. Okay, we'll stick with the right side for now. Inhale to lower. Exhale, find a lift through center. Inhale, release. Exhale to twist. So alternating between that chest lift straight up towards the ceiling and a twist to the right. Every time you're lifting or twisting, again, engaging through inner thighs, your lower half to squeeze your prop or squeeze your thighs together. Don't forget to release on the inhale. One more time, just like that. Exhale, lift straight up. Release back. Last time, we'll lift and twist to the right. Hold there. Maybe tap your right elbow to the floor if it can reach. Let's pulse in our twist to the right. Pulse for 3, 2, 1. Come all the way back through center, release, lower down. Good, maybe take your arms out from behind your head just for a moment to release your wrists, your elbows, make a few circles. When you're ready, hands back behind the head, interlace your fingers, big breath in. Exhale, start to squeeze from the inner thighs, draw your low belly in, and then lift head and chest straight up. Good, we'll go right over to the left next. Inhale to lower. Exhale, squeeze, lift, twist to the left. Inhale all the way back through center and down, little release of your inner thighs. Exhale, lift straight up and lower. Good, exhale, lift and twist to the left. Come back through center. Exhale, straight up. Good, a couple more times here on the left. No rush, head heavy, elbows nice and wide. Allow your feet to relax a little bit. Unclench the bum if you can. This will be our last round. Exhale, let's lift straight up. Inhale, come back, release the ball. Last one, exhale, lift, twist, squeeze over to the left, and then find pulses from just the upper body in your twist. Maybe try to reach the left elbow down towards the floor. Pulsing for 3, 2, 1. Draw yourself back through center and release. Good, you can take the squishy ball out, bring the feet about as wide as your mat, arms just out by your sides. Might feel nice to take a couple windshield wiper movements with the legs left and right. Head and neck can maybe do the same or the opposite. And then we'll find stillness. Keep the feet pretty much where they are, nice and wide. Heels on your mat, toes slightly turned off, arms by your sides. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, press right into your feet. Lift your hips straight up into your wide-legged bridge. Take a moment to notice that connection from shoulder blades to hips to knees. And if needed, press your upper back down just a little bit. So we're not finding a big extension through our upper back. Upper back is pretty heavy on the floor. On your next inhale, start to lower your bum straight down. Find just a little hover above the mat. Exhale, press into your feet and lift straight up. Inhale, lower. And then exhale to press and lift straight up. And allowing the abdominals, the obliques that we just worked to relax just a little. Every exhale, we're still aware of the connection our abs have to the core. A little brace through your belly, a little contraction of your lowest rib towards your hip bones as you lift. And focusing a lot of our work and attention as well on the glutes. So allow your sit bones, your bum to widen as you lower down to your hover. Find a little squeeze and gather of the glutes at the back as you lift straight up. Arms could absolutely lift up towards the ceiling if you want a bit more of a challenge. They can always come down to add a little bit more support if your low back especially maybe is feeling it. Similar to our chest lift, find a moment at the top, squeeze your glutes, stay in the lift, and then inhale, lower, and release. The next time your hips lift, we're gonna pause, hold there. From here, press your knees out wide, so maybe they open an inch further, and then just release that. Again, exhale to press the knees out, and inhale, find a little release. And if you have a resistance band at home, I didn't mention it earlier, but if you have it, you could always add it into these wide-legged bridges. They add that extra little bit of resistance as your knees and thighs press out and release. Feet are still glued to the floor, all 10 toes, your heels. Just a little movement of knees and thighs out and out. Good. Press the knees out for 3, for 2. Last one, find that little release. Inhale again, lower the bum down to a hover, and exhale, press back up. Inhale, lower, exhale, press and lift. We're gonna add in that little pulse of the knees and thighs out to the side in 3, 2, 1. At the top of your lift, press your knees and thighs out, release, lower down, and then press, lift up, and press out. Doesn't need to be fast. Find your lift, your press out, release, and down. Lift, out, in, down. Just for 3, for 2. On this last one, stay up, press your knees out, just those little pulses of your knees and thighs. Maybe pressing your hips up just a millimeter higher if you can. Press your knees out and out. Just for 3, for 2. On 1, we find a static hold. Just hold here, breathe in, breathe out. Keep holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly start to release the spine all the way down and nice and slow. If it feels good, hug your knees to your chest and then grab the knees with your hands and make a few circles with your legs. Knees can just relax heavy into your hands. Let the arms, the hands do the work here. Switch, go the other way. Good. And And then allow your knees to just kind of spring into a tabletop position. Knees and inner thighs can be squeezing together here. Take an inhale, lift your arms up overhead. As you exhale, start to lift your arms straight up. Take your head and chest along with it so you're curling forward. Grab the hands or the thighs with your hands. And then start to rock and roll just a few times along your spine. Just kind of from your tailbone to your mid-back, building a little momentum, avoid the neck. Good, start to make the rocks a little bigger. Press your inner thighs together until you finally build enough momentum to come all the way up. Maybe just hold here in your center point position, little tuck of your tailbone, knees and tabletop, elbows wide. Hold and breathe here for 3. For 2. On 1, maybe try to extend the arms forward, straighten the legs any amount. Little rounding through your spine, holding your teaser or semi-teaser for 3, 2, 1. Bring everything down. You can round over your legs. Allow your spine to stretch a little bit and round. And then let's make our way onto all fours, hands and knees. So finding the center of your mat, lining up your wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Once you found yourself there, take an inhale, roll your shoulders back, start to press your chest forward, maybe lift your tail and look up. As you exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. Couple more cat and cows like that. Inhale to press forward, arch. Exhale, round it out. Good, find about 2 more like that. Nice big inhale. And nice big exhale. Last one, inhale, press forward, arch your spine, look up. Exhale, round. And then go ahead, lengthen your spine out to a neutral position, so relatively long, flat back, shoulder blades drawing a little bit apart. Hover the right knee above the floor, keeping your knee bent. Start to draw a few circles out and around. You can allow for a little bit of movement here, but see if you can stabilize your low back, your low belly. So it's not a huge shift in the body. As that leg goes around, it's small. Switch and go the other way, still with the right leg. Finding about 3 or 4 medium-sized circles just to lubricate that joint. And then pause, bring your knee back underneath the hip, knees still hovering a little bit above the floor. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, start to lift your right knee up to about hip height. Inhale, lower down just so the knee's hovering above the floor. And then exhale again to lift. Inhale to lower, exhale, press up. At any point, you are welcome to come down to your forearms, one or both. You can fold up the front edge of your mat, provide a little cushioning for your wrists if they feel like they just need a little bit of support. The next time the right knee lifts to hip height, add 2 little pulses. So a little pulse up, up, and then lower down to your hover. Keep going with that. Lift, pulse, pulse, and lower. And the next time leg lifts to hip height, pause there. We're gonna start to straighten the leg, keeping it lifted, and then bend the knee back in. Straight leg, and then bend the heel, or bend the knee, heel towards your bum. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, bend and pull in. Whole time, the right thigh is lifted to about hip height. It might be a little bit lower. That is fine. Let's add 2 little pulses as you bend your knee. So a little kick towards your bum, pulse, pulse, and then inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend and pulse, pulse, and lengthen. 3 more like that. Reach, pull it in. Last 2. Last one. Bend the knee, pull it in. You can do your pulse, pulse. And then pause. We're gonna add our bigger movements together, eliminate our pulses. So inhale, bend the knee, lower it down to a hover. Exhale, lift the bent knee up, straighten the leg at the top. Bend, lower down. Keeping it bent, lift, then lengthen. Find a breath pattern here that works for you. Good. Are articulating each movement, fully straighten at the top, reach through your leg, bend, squeeze your hamstring, your glute, lower, big lift, reach, bend, lower. Just one more like that. And then we're gonna finish with little pulses with a bent knee. So bent knee lifts to about hip height, little pulse straight up, up. Just for 3, 2, 1. Lower the right knee all the way down, little sit back to child's pose. Circle out your wrists if you need to, or shoulders. We'll take a little intermission before we head on to the left side, because that is a lot for our shoulders and wrists. Make your way up to a kneeling position. You can grab your weights if you got them and want them. Come up to a tall kneeling position, stacking knees underneath the hips. Nice long spine. Reach your arms forward to about shoulder height. Take a moment to just soften the shoulder caps down. Imagine pulling shoulder blades down into your back pocket. As you inhale, start to sit your bum back to your heels. Exhale, we're gonna press straight up and the arms will swing back a little bit in space. Inhale, we'll bend, lower the bum down, arms will reach forward. Exhale, press all the way up, arms reach back. And really press your bum back to your heels. Maybe feeling a little bit of expansion and almost like a stretch for the glutes as you lower back. And then that squeeze contraction from your glutes as you press forward to kneeling. Good, let's go for 3. For 2. Last one. We're gonna stay seated actually. So bum to heels, or you could sit on your cushion or ball if you'd like. Send your arms back behind you, palms facing back. Inhale, lower the arms a few inches. And then exhale, lift them straight up and back. Good, you can hinge a little forward with your upper body, but try to keep your neutral spine. That will intensify the load for the triceps, but if you want to bring yourself all the way up to a tall seated, that's fine too. Inhale, arms lower. Exhale, arms lift straight up and back. Weights could definitely be ditched at any point if you prefer. Good, 3 more, and then we'll find little pulses with our arms reaching back. Last 2. Last one, both arms lift, maybe lift them just a little higher and then pulse from there. Little lift, arms are straight, elbows are locked. Pulse for 3, 2, 1. Lower the arms by your side. You can drop the weights off on either side and then just give your arms a little shake. Roll out the wrists. Make your way back forward onto hands and knees for the left side, left glute. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, nice long spine, shrug your shoulders back and away. Hover the left knee. We'll begin with a few circles out and around. Good, one more in this direction. And then switch, just go the other way, maybe 3 or 4. As the leg moves, starting to find balance on this side, finding stability through the low belly, the low back. Last circle, bring it all the way back underneath your hip. Knees still hovering, take a big breath in. Exhale, draw your low abs in as you lift the left knee to hip height. Inhale, lower down to your hover. And then exhale, straight lift up, up, up. In 3, we'll add those 2 little pulses at the top. In 2. Last one, lift, add your pulse. Inhale to lower, exhale, lift, pulse, pulse. Again, remembering your options to bring your forearms down. Whether you're on forearms or hands, keep the upper body pretty active. So shoulder blades pulling wide the whole time. pressing firmly down. Lift. Good, the next time leg lifts to hip height, let's pause, hold there. Start to reach the leg long, and then bend, kick in. Good, we'll go straight out, straight in for 3. Then we're adding those 2 little pulses, kicks towards your butt in 2. On 1, bend the knee, find a little pulse, and then inhale to lengthen. Exhale, bend a little pulse, doesn't have to be big, and reach. Good, 3 more like that. Level out your hips. The left hip might be opening out to the side, tilting your pelvis to the left. Try to find a level pelvis. Last one like this, lengthen. Bend, kick, keep the bend. Start to lower the knee down to that hover, and then lift and lengthen. Bend in, lower, lift, and reach. Feel free to add some movement through your ankles, your feet. If you want to point and flex, alternate between the 2 or keep one or the other, that's great. A little extra ankle mobility. Good, last one like that. Reach out, then bend in, lower. Last time, let's lift the leg up, keep the knee bent, little pulses up. Trying to maintain that hip height, pulse up for 3, for 2, and 1. Release the knee all the way down, press your hips back into child's pose. Arms could reach forward, find a little sway of your hips side to side. Good. We'll give our wrists definitely a little break here, so slink your way forward. Bring your hands a little bit wider, and then go ahead, lower your upper body all the way down to your mat. We'll be on our bellies. So take a moment to settle in here. You can rock your hips a little bit side to side. When you're ready, just rest your forehead, your nose. Bring your hands a little bit wider than your mat. Elbows bent. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, begin to lift your head just to a little hover above the ground. Gaze is still down. Inhale, release, head and chest come all the way down. Exhale again, just a little peel up of your head, your chest, and release. Good. One more like that. Good, release all the way down. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, draw your low belly in, press your hip bones, your pubic bone down, so find connection for your pelvis into the mat. Take a big breath in again. As you exhale this time, lift the head and chest to a hover. From here, hands and arms are also going to hover up into a cactus or goalpost shape. So elbows bent in line with shoulders. Tip your elbows just a little bit down towards the mat. Inhale, reach both arms forward. Exhale, bend at the elbows, pull the elbows back towards your rib cage. Maybe the chest lifts a millimeter higher. Inhale, both arms reach forward. Nice wide V as you stretch your fingertips forward. Exhale, bend at the elbows, peel up. Inhale, arms lengthen and reach. Exhale, bend the elbows back towards your ribs. Good, this is our movement. If you need a break from it, you can absolutely just bring the head and chest down. Keep going with your arm movements. But if you can, head and chested will stay lifted, adding that little extra lift as the elbows come in. Good, one more like that. We're gonna pause with the elbows pulling in towards the ribs. So pull in, lift your chest a little higher. Just a little lift of your upper body. Little pulse for 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, bring everything down. Maybe bring your left ear to the mat if that feels okay. Take a couple deep breaths in through your nose. And exhale, release. You can switch the ear just to even it out through the neck, maybe bringing right ear to the floor this time. Big breath in, and big breath out. Okay, when you're ready, bring your right arm over your head. Let's roll onto our right side body. Really have to think about that for a minute. Look at that hand. What is that? All right, bending the knees like you're sitting in a little chair. So shins lining up with the front edge of your mat, back in line with the back. And then go ahead, you can rest your head either on your bottom arm, or if you have a pillow or a block nearby that you want to place underneath, that's fine too. Take a moment to peek down at your hips. We want the hips stacked, belly drawing back, rib cage drawing back. Big breath in. On your exhale, lift the top knee just to about hip height. Inhale, lower all the way down. And then exhale, lift straight up. Inhale, release. And then exhale to lift. And see if you can really find resistance on the way down, slowing it down even a little bit more. Exhale, lift. It could be a little quicker. Finding a lot of resistance on the way down. Just a smidge faster on the lift. Maybe even the legs tap down together for a moment at the bottom, stick your bum back, and then exhale, lift, lift. Wake me up when the days are over. Next time, top leg is lifted to hip height, pause, hold there. Start to tip the thigh bone, the knee down just an inch or two, so internal rotation, and then turn the knee and thigh up towards the ceiling, external rotation. Good, inhale to tilt down a little, exhale, tilt a little up to the ceiling. And you're just kind of swiveling around that hip height area. The next time the knee tips a little down, bring the knee all the way down. So top knee taps bottom knee, and then bring the knee up, heel touches heel. Good, so internally rotating so knees can tap, and then externally rotating that thigh bone so the heels can tap. And you just keep flipping through it back and forth. And if you're not making a connection of knee to knee or heel to heel, that's not such a big deal. That's not the ultimate goal. But finding as much rotation in either direction as you can find. Good. We'll go for 3. Slower you go, the more you're gonna feel it in your glute. Last 2. Last one, find a little tilt down, a little tilt back. Bring the heels to touch if you can. Well, just bring them to touch. You can scoot your heels a little bit back in space towards your glutes if that helps out. Start to lower the top knee all the way down, and then exhale to open. Keeping the heels stacked in glute, inhale, knee comes down. Exhale, press and open. So you're in your clamshell. Only bringing the knee as high as you can keep, hips stacked, keeping them still. The next time top knee opens, pause, hold there, little pulses. Top knee pulses up and up. Pulse for 3, 2, 1. Close the top knee all the way down. Lift both heels so they're hovering above your mat, knees are still together. We're gonna open the top knee and close. So elevated clamshell, heels stay lifted as you open and close. Good, open and close for 3, for 2. Last one, we're gonna open the top knee, lower your top or bottom foot to meet the floor. We're gonna kick the top leg forward in front of you. Flex your foot, start to bring the leg in line with your hip. Bend the knee, glide the leg forward, straighten the leg, and then straight leg will glide back. So single leg bicycle, pedaling forward, straight leg draws back. Last one in that direction, press the leg forward, back, bend the knee forward. This time keep it bent, bring the leg behind you a little, straighten the leg to come forward, bend it back in, pull it back, straighten and kick. Actively pressing into your bottom bent knee for a little extra stability and support. Bigger leg movement is probably gonna rock the body and the spine a little bit, but we can use that bottom leg as a support for sure. The last one in this direction, come forward, bend the knee in, straighten the leg long behind you, lift a little higher, and pulse. Pulse the straight leg up and back for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Top leg can come all the way down. Give that side a little tap or rub if it needs it. And then let's press ourselves up through center. Swivel the legs around. We'll go straight into that second side. Ooh, lost my AirPod. All right, moving on to your left side right away. Setting up like you're in a chair, resting your head wherever it's comfortable. Stacking your hips, drawing your torso, your core, a little back in space, finding that containment. Big breath in. On your exhale, start to lift your top knee up to about hip height. Inhale, lower down, really, really, really slow. And then exhale, lift up, up, up. And maybe relaxing your top foot a little bit, letting it be about the top outer glute. Working with this top thigh. Taking those nice, big, long, extended breaths as well may help to release some of the tension from the bottom leg and glute that you're probably feeling. I'm most definitely feeling that. That was a really long side glute section sequence. Again, 2 more like that. Inhale, lower, nice and slow. Stick the bum out a little. Exhale. Last one, lowering down, down, down. Lift up, up, up. Pause, hold there. Little internal rotation, knee tilts down. And then exhale, rotate up towards the ceiling. Inhale, little spin of the thigh bone down. Exhale, spinning it back up. Keep the leg lifted at hip height for now. We'll make it a little bit bigger in 3. In 2. Last one, little tilt down, little tilt up. Start to tilt down again, this time bringing knee to bottom knee. And then spiraling up and around, heel to heel. Get internal rotation as the knees knock. External as the heels knock or get close to it. And noticing maybe this side is a little bit different. Maybe the range feels a little easier, maybe it's a little bit bigger. If it feels easier, just try to slow it down. Good, last 3. Last 2. Last one, we're gonna bring the heels to knock, pause there. You can scoot your heels back in space a little if that helps them to connect. Inhale, lower your top knee down, and then exhale, open. Heels will stay stacked and glued. Inhale down, and lift. And relaxing your jaw, maybe even fingertips. I often catch myself just clenching and making a fist as I get to the end of these longer sequences. Try to soften whatever you can. Next time top knee lifts, we're gonna pause, hold there, little pulses straight up, up, for 3, 2, 1. Bring the knee down for a second. Lift both heels so they're hovering, and then back to that clam, open, and close. Little lift up and down. In 3, that bottom foot will come down. We're gonna start to bicycle the top leg. In 2. 1, keep your top knee lifted, lower the bottom foot. Start to straighten that top leg forward, flex your foot, draw the straight leg back. Once it's back all the way, bend your knee, start to kick and lengthen forward, and drag it back at hip height. Whew. Embrace that little stretch that maybe hopefully feels a little good as you straighten the leg all the way. Finding a little squeeze as you bring your leg back, little squeeze of that top glute. The next time you kick forward, pause, hold there, start to bend the knee back in, draw the bent knee back in space, and then straighten, kick forward. Again, pressing down into your bottom knee, your bottom foot as much as you need to stabilize through your hips and spine. Good, one more all the way through. Bend in, kick back, straighten. We'll bend the knee in, straighten the leg back behind you, keep it there. We'll pulse up and back. Good, keep reaching the leg back so maybe the hips open just a little bit. Pulse for 3, for 2, for 1, and then bend the knee, bring it back down. And stretch the leg out long if that feels better. Find that little rub and tap one more time. We'll flip over to our back body. So when you're ready, meeting on our backs, knees are bent, couple pelvic tilts forward and back just to release our low back. Inhale, tilt forward, exhale, rock it back. 2 more times, inhale to arch forward, exhale, tuck back. Next time, tilt forward, next time, tilt back in. Take another breath of air, press into your feet, slowly start to lift your hips all the way back up into your bridge. Not here very long. If you have the squishy ball or you have a cushion or block, you're gonna place it underneath your sacrum. So the flat bone right at the back of your pelvis, so just above your butt crack, a little bit lower than your low back. So as you press your hips back down onto the prop, your hips should feel pretty level. So if you have it under the low back, you might have a saggy bottom. You want the prop to be a little bit lower than that, so pelvis can rest nice and heavy. It should feel wobbly, but heavy. Good, feet on the floor, arms by your sides to start, take a breath in. As you exhale, float the right leg to tabletop, breath in. Exhale, float your left leg to tabletop. So right away, we're in this tabletop position. Press down into your hands and arms for a little support. As you inhale, tap your right toes down towards the front edge of the mat. Exhale, draw the right knee back to tabletop. Inhale, switch, left toes down. And then exhale, pulling back nice and slow. So keep alternating through your single leg tap forward and back. And of course, if you don't have a prop, your hips, you can still do this. You're just flat on the floor. There's not that unstable, instable surface underneath you. If you do have the prop, you're gonna feel a little bit of shaking as your lower core muscles start to work to stabilize the hips. One more tap for each side, and then we'll change it up. Good, draw both knees back into tabletop. From here, the right arm will lift towards the ceiling. You can keep your left arm down, or right away, if you want the challenge, lift the left arm. We're gonna reach the right arm overhead, and then exhale, right arm back through center. 3 more times, stay with the same side, so you can kind of adjust. Last 2. Last one. Bring the right arm up. We're gonna start to reach the left leg straight as the arm goes back. So right arm, left leg will reach away. Exhale, draw them back into center, nice and slow. Inhale, reach arm and leg away, away. Exhale, drag the arm, the knee back in. Just stacking knee over hip, arm over shoulder. One more on this side. Draw back through center. If you need to, you can now lower the right arm, right hand to the floor for a little extra support. Start with your left arm going back. Exhale through center. 2 more times. Inhale, reach back. Exhale through center. Notice if your pelvis is starting to tuck in a little bit and the low back starting to round. Try to even that back out to your neutral. Oops, I think we did a little extra with that left arm. Come back through center, pause, hold there. We'll add the right leg. Inhale, arm and leg reach. Exhale, draw it back in. Again, lengthen, reach away. And nice and slow, coming all the way back. And your secondary work is just keeping the opposite arm and leg. So left knee, right arm, nice and still and stable. Good, one more, reach, lengthen, pull all the way in, grab your knees in towards your chest, give your hip flexors a little break, low back can round a little bit, rock side to side. Good. And then one last little bit here, so keep the prop where it is if you've got it. Arms can start down on the floor, so just beside you. Both legs are gonna squeeze together, your knees, your ankles, your inner thighs, all touching. As you inhale, lengthen the legs away on a high diagonal, and then exhale, bend and pull them in. Inhale again, lengthen, reach, maybe they reach a little lower, and then exhale, bend and come back in. It's up to you if you want to bend your knees and just have them land in that tabletop. So you've got that nice neutral pelvis. If you feel stable enough and it feels good for the back today, you can draw your knees in a little closer to the chest, add that little lift of the bum, and then inhale, reach the legs long and out. Exhale, pull in, maybe a little lift. Inhale to lengthen. Upper body pressing heavy into the floor. Reach and lengthen for 3. For 2. Last one, we're gonna reach the legs out, lower them as low as you can go. We're gonna start to crisscross flutter our legs. Crossing one leg over top and switch and switch. Drawing a low belly back. Heavy pelvis, heavy upper back. Flutter for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug the knees all the way into the chest. Again, rock the low back side to side, whether that's on the floor or your prop. If you have a block, that probably doesn't feel so nice. When you're ready, land the feet back down on the floor. If you're on your prop, you can press your hips up and take it out from underneath you. Okay, take your arms overhead, nice big stretch. As you exhale, bring your arms up towards the ceiling, all the way down by your hips. Inhale again, arms will reach up and back. Exhale, we're gonna start to bring the head and chest up with the arms, so nod chin to chest. Keep exhaling as you roll yourself all the way up. And once you're there, dive over your thigh bones, let your back round. And then stack your spine up to seated. Come back onto all fours, hands and knees. Once you arrive here, as you inhale, drop your chest towards the floor, sink your shoulder blades towards center. Exhale, press the ground away, pull your shoulder blades apart. Couple more times like that. Inhale, chest lowers. Exhale to lift. Try to keep the arms as straight as they can be. A soft bend is perfectly fine, but less about a big bend and lower of the chest. It's a little drop, a little lift. For 3, for 2. Last one. Press into your hands, pull your shoulder blades apart, pause, hold there, tuck your toes, big breath in. On your exhale, hover both knees to above the floor. Keep breathing, keep hovering. Drawing your low belly in, keep pulling your shoulder blades apart. Take another full breath in. On your exhale, this time we're gonna straighten our legs any amount, send your hips high, so piking your hips up to kind of this shortened downward dog stance. As you inhale, try to keep your spine as flat as you can or as neutral as you can. Rebend the knees so they land back in that hover. So exhale, we'll pike the hips, straighten the legs as much as you can. And then rebend the knees, lower down back into your hovering tabletop. So sometimes we do this in class, and it's more of a wave and a ripple through the spine, which feels really nice and stretchy. This one's a little bit different, trying to be mindful of the neutral spine, keeping that intact. as we bend and straighten through the legs. Let's go for 3, for 2, last one. Pike the hips nice and high, and then stay there. You can step your feet back a little further, move into a more comfortable downward dog position for your body. Pedal out the feet if you want. Let your head hang heavy, maybe even give a couple shakes side to side. Find stillness with your feet, soften your knees a bit, and start to walk your hands back to your feet. Landing in a forward fold at the back edge of your mat, maybe grab for opposite elbow as you let your upper body just sway a few times side to side. And bring yourself back to your center, release the grip of your arms, fingertips to the mat, take a breath in. As you exhale, start to tilt your pelvis or tilt your tailbone down towards the mat and start to roll up through your spine. Head and neck are last to arrive. At the top, take a big breath in. You can reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, flow your arms down, nudge into chest, scoop your belly, and roll down. Let your arms just drape alongside your ears as you roll down. Take a breath in at the bottom. Exhale, begin to press into your feet, nice, slow, and controlled. Roll yourself up. Once you reach the top, this time, arms lift. Grabbing your left wrist with your right hand, take a big inhale to grow even taller. Exhale, start to circle your body down towards the floor. Circle up on the other side. One more circle in that direction. Inhale, grow tall through center. Exhale, nice big circle around. Switch your grip once you reach the top. Left hand grabs onto right wrist, reach up as you inhale. Exhale, circle down and around. One more. Good. Come all the way back up through center, big breath in. Bring your palms to touch overhead. As you exhale, slowly bend your elbows, lower your palms down towards your heart center. Maybe finding a soft nod of your chin towards your chest, softening your gaze. Take a breath in. As you exhale, just roll your shoulders back, release your belly, your glutes. One more time, big breath in. Exhale, find that little release. When you're ready, slowly start to lift your head, neck, and gaze back through center, blinking the eyes open if they were closed. Thank you so much for joining into class. Lovely to have you here, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.